Today is January 8th, 2024. And if you've been following me these last few days, I've been posting videos about the incident that happened in Miami with the event of potential aliens, creatures, Nephilim, potentially it could be Project Bluebeam. I'm not really sure. But these are the things that have happened in the last week here, or on my channel. For the last few days, I've been making videos about it. I made 3 videos of it so far. And one of the things I was doing is I was praying to the Lord, because I was asking, I was like, Lord, I was like, is this what you want me to do? I'm like, I'm not sure if I really want to be known as like the alien girl, or, you know, and to try to like go after all of like these little tidbits of information when it comes to this Miami Mall thing, because, you know, yes, I know that what's happening right now is a distraction. There is a distraction. This right now is a distraction from all the Epstein files that have been released. I actually started reading them last week, and there are so many pages of them. Oh my goodness. But I started reading them last week, and then, you know, I got distracted and deferred with this. And so I asked him, I was like, Lord, I'm like, what should we be doing? Because one of the things on my channel is I want to make sure that not only am I going to expose and share the things that are happening in this world, to let people know that yes, the spirit realm is real, to let you know that the devil is real, that Jesus is real, and Jesus is Lord. And, you know, I don't want to get too distracted. I don't want to fall into a place where I'm searching to get a lot of subscribers and to gain more influence again and stuff, because that's not really what I'm looking for. Like, what I'm looking for is to be in the perfect will of the Lord, right? And whatever I do is for his glory. And so I was really thinking about this, and I was like, God, I'm like, what is this to do, right? Like, what is this? So today, you know, he's so good. One of the things that the Holy Spirit does is he speaks to me through videos. Like, he will lead me to YouTube videos. I will obviously hear him in my spirit as well. And like, he will speak to me through the Bible when I'm reading it. You know, he'll drop things in my spirit. But honestly, one of the biggest things is he shares videos with me. So today I'm going to share with you a video that with Jennifer Bagnashi. She is the host of Deep Believer. She has a great channel. She has so many different people coming on there. She does interviews with them, and they are like all these really cool different, different topics in Christianity when it comes like to the things of the spirit, you know, deliverance, heaven, hell, so many cool things. So anyways, I love her, and I think she's great. And so normally she doesn't actually just like put like a video where she's talking to the screen, but I was like, okay, I'm like, I really want to watch this, because she's saying God showed her 2 huge prophecies for 2024, and it's already starting. And this actually ties perfectly into what's happening with a Miami Mall. And I wanted to share it with you as well, because I know there is distraction. And I know that, you know, Jesus said in the end times, like one of the main thing he said before, like, you know, before his death, he was like, do not be deceived, right? He's like, do not be deceived. That was like the main thing that he said. So I was like, all right, Lord, I'm like, I don't want to be deceived. So I'm like, show me, like, what is it I got to do? So we're going to watch her video. I'm going to play it at 1.5 times the speed, just so that this video is shorter. But if you want to listen at a normal speed, just turn my video down to like 50% while you're watching this. And I'll also leave her video in the link in the description section below, so you can also check it out yourself as well. So let's get into this. And she is a godly woman. She's been walking with the Lord since she was like a child. I really like her a lot. So let's get into and watch her video. It's called God Showed Her 2 Huge Prophecies for 2024. It's already starting.
Hi, it's Jennifer Bagnashi with Deep Believer. Today, I just have to send you basically what the Lord has showed me for 2024. I wasn't going to tell anyone, to be honest. Today is the very first time, and it's January 6th, the very first time that I'm sharing this with anyone. The very first time I've shared it with anyone was this morning. But every year the Lord gives me either a dream or a very precise revelation of what's to happen that year. And he's been spot on every last time. Now, I'm not the type of person that says, the Lord says this if the Lord doesn't. I'm very careful. I respect him. I fear him. I revere him. So I love him. So I don't play games. I don't care about having my name out there. I could care less. I actually like the fact that a lot of people don't even know my name. They just know me as Deep Believer. So whenever I get emails, hey, Deep Believer, I think it's awesome. God already knows my name. Heaven knows my name. So it's fine. I could care less. But what I really want everyone to know is that the Lord definitely has a plan for 2024. But this year is so different, because and please stick around, because what I'm going to share is very important. Now, I think it was last year or the year before, I'm not so sure. I put a video out, and I let everyone know, and I'm sorry this is not edited. So if I need to take a break to think because I get brain farts, please understand. But this part is not edited, so what you see is what you get. Okay, so anyway, This year I forgot. Usually I pray every year. I pray and fast New Year's Eve because I expect the Lord to give me something, a revelation of what's to come that year. This year I forgot. My father-in-law passed away right before Christmas unexpectedly. He was a self-proclaimed atheist at one point, and when he found out he was sick, he gave his life to Jesus. When I say he gave his life to Jesus, he was bold about it. He was even more bolder than when he said he was an atheist. He was more bolder with being a Christian. He said, "I am a true Christian. I'm a real Christian." And he began to lose his eyesight. And when he began to lose his eyesight, he had my mother-in-law, his wife, read the Bible to him, and he loved it. And I just want to tell you, it's amazing how he did everything that was right that you're supposed to do. I mean, he forgave everyone who ever did him wrong. He called everyone and he told them he forgave them, and then he asked for his forgiveness as well. I mean, he just wanted to make everything right with everyone, and I'm like, he's doing everything right. And that's something I think we need to all realize too, is that we need to forgive. Forgiveness is an amazing thing, and I truly don't believe that it's hard to get into heaven with an unforgiving heart, because God says, the Lord will not forgive, the Father will not forgive you unless you forgive other people.
Very true.
He gave his life to the Lord, and shortly thereafter, he went to be with the Lord. Praise the Lord. And on top of that, and this is all in like 2 weeks, but what happened was we had went to New York for my daughter's birthday, because she wanted to go to Times Square for her birthday, and it was right after Christmas, and we got sick. I got sick, and my right lung was so tore up from, all the things that were being smoked out there. I got sick. I was down for about 5 days. So I was really sick, and I wasn't thinking, when I flew back, I'm like, oh, I just need to rest. So I didn't get a chance to even think about, fasting or doing anything. I was just trying to get better. So this is the first year where I really did forget, and midnight comes. Midnight's about to come, and my husband is like, okay, let's all come downstairs. We always get some apple cider, bubbly apple cider, whatever. And I remembered, oh my gosh, I didn't fast and pray. But you know what I said? That's okay. If the Lord wants to reveal something to me, he's going to. There's no formula for having the Lord speak to you. If he wants me to know something, I'll know it. And this is what's happening. I'm going to tell you what the Lord showed me for 2024 and possibly beyond. Okay. And I was thinking, should I tell you everything? Should I tell you everything? My thing is saying more light required. I'm sorry. It's getting dark. I'm in my car. I usually don't record in my car. But here goes. So I dreamt on New Year's night, I dreamt that there was a young woman, about her late teens, and this woman was perfect. And it was just her. She wasn't moving. It was just a woman. And she was a teen woman, and she was pregnant with child. Mind you, I wasn't thinking about anything. I wasn't thinking about Bible prophecy, nothing. I was just thinking, nothing. I just want to go to sleep. Okay, so anyway, and I hadn't dreamed for a while. I wrote all this down. Everything's documented. But there was a woman, a very young woman. She was about 16, 17 years old. She was pregnant with child, but she was perfect. She had never done anything, I can't say anything wrong, but you could tell she didn't get pregnant from immorality. And then there was the enemy, the devil, and he tried to get at her. And this young lady had to be protected at all costs. And that was the goal, for her to be protected at all costs. And then this kept recycling itself in the dream. So this happened 3 times. So I would see her, and then I would see Satan or the devil and trying to get after her, but he couldn't, because she had to be protected at all time. Okay. And
one thing I just want to say about this is, when things are repeated over and over and over, God definitely is trying to send a message to you.
The very last scene, there was a cake. There was an unfrosted cake here in the United States. I don't know how it is in the rest of the world. I'm sorry if I'm talking fast, but there was a cake that was unfrosted next to her and next to the enemy. And for some reason, I don't know why this cake showed up, but there was a cake next to them. And I kept hearing in this dream, she needs to be protected at all costs. This woman with child needs to be protected at all costs. This is what I kept hearing it over and over again. The woman with child needs to be protected at all costs. That was one part of the dream. Then after that, and this happened in 2 segments. Then after that, the Lord began to reveal to me so clear as day. And he began to show me. He began to show me. When I say show, he would show in a physical, in every way. He showed me that this would be the year for those who are walking with the Lord. Not ones who say, I'm a Christian. Not ones who just speak with their mouth and then live a whole different life after. This is for the ones who are truly walking with the Lord. And mind you, I'm not the type of person who is always saying, wonderful things the Lord told me, because a lot of times the Lord tells me warning things that people don't like to hear, and then they get mad at me. But this is actually a good thing. He basically revealed to me that this is the year of restoration, where things that have been broken in your life will be restored. Things with your health will be restored. Those with children, say if your child is going wayward, that will be restored. A lot of things will be restored in your life this year. The Lord is going to do so. He's going to do a transformation in your life. Okay, that part is that.
Let me just, I just want to add to that. So my apostle, at my church, she's a prophet, and she just gave a end of year prophetic update as well. And I just watched it today, and she said the exact same thing, that this is going to be a year of restoration, but it is going to be with those that actually walk with the Lord. So this is the second time that I've heard this now today from a prophet as well. So and she's not actually a prophet, but as believers, we can receive prophetic words as well. But this is the second time that I'm hearing this as a confirmation.
The Lord took a break, and he continued the dream on the 2nd, January 3rd is when he gave me a continuation from January 1st. So remember, January 1st was when the Lord showed me the young lady with child, the woman with child who needed to be protected. And then the Lord revealed to me that this is going to be a year of restoration. Things that have been broken in your life will be restored. The Lord is going to fix things in your life if you're walking with him. All right, he took a break on day 2. I didn't tell anyone anything. I didn't tell my husband. I didn't tell anyone, right? So then day 3 happens. I have another dream, but it's a continuation. And I was debating on whether saying the very last part that I'm going to say, as well as the woman part, but I said that part, so I might as well tell you the whole thing. So day 3, January 3rd, there was a continuation, okay? And in this part, now I'm having a brain fart, and I'm trying to think, okay. All right, so I'm having a continuation from January 1st. So from January 1st to January 3rd, I had a dream that there was a big event that was happening. And, I was a part of this big event, and everyone was opening their gifts and all this stuff. But long story short, we walked to someone's house. And as we were going up their stairs, this house was a row house. And as we were going up the stairs, it was 2 levels of stairs. And we knocked on the door, on the screen door, because the front door was wide open. And when the front door was wide open, we realized that no one was home. So we're like, okay, no one's home, let's turn back around. When we turned back around, we noticed that the owner of the house was actually in a vacant parking lot across the street. It was like a market, but no one was parked there. It was a big open parking lot. And it's as if he got his finger, not his finger, I'm sorry, as if he got his ankle caught in like a pothole or something. So he was wailing in pain. So at first I'm thinking, how in the world did he get over there? And we didn't see him over there and whatever. So then I go to walk down to help him out. My husband walks him down. My kids go to, help him out. And next thing I know, I look down. And as I look down, I look back up because I'm just looking down just to make sure I get my next step, because it was a row house and it was 2 flights of stairs, just looking down super fast. This dream seemed super real, like it was really happening. I look down. When I look back up, all of a sudden there are ambulances, whatever, surrounding him. And I'm like, what in the world? This happened literally out of nowhere. And I'm thinking to myself, how in the world was he just alone in a vacant parking lot, no one around him? Then all of a sudden I look down and then there's ambulances everywhere. And then there's the paramedics around. They're walking around. And I'm like, what in the world is happening? So again, everybody's down there and my mind is going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs because I'm thinking that this is impossible. So once I say out loud, how in the world could this happen? I just look down and look back up, and then all of a sudden there's all these people there. This hand touches me, takes my left shoulder, and says, it's because they're not real. And once he said that, I looked over because now it's nighttime. All of a sudden, it's like, it's nighttime. And I look to the right and I'm watching the paramedics walk, and they begin to fade off. Parts of them begin to fade off, like almost like in pixels. And that's when the Lord revealed to me in this dream that this is the year where you need to really be on the lookout. I don't want to say on the lookout because it sounds crazy, but be aware that there's going to be a lot of things happening that we're going to see that are really not real. That's really not happening. Literally. Now, after that, right, I'm looking the other way. So that's when I look to the left. When I look to the right down the street, this is the part that was really interesting. I see 2 horses, 2 white horses. And these 2 white horses had wings, but they had wings without feathers. So picture a chicken without feathers. You see, if you had chicken wings before and you're about to cook it, it looked like that. It was horses with wings without feathers. So it was weird. So they were running down the street. Right behind them were 2 more horses running down the street. Right behind them, literally, they were just in pairs like that, running. And they were white as well, but they didn't have wings. Then after that was 2 red horses running behind the white horses. And then behind the red horses were 2 pale horses. And the pale was a grayish green color. And then I woke up and then the dream was done. And I didn't tell anyone. Usually when I have dreams like this, if it's a dream from the Lord, a lot of times I can't speak. Usually for days, I can't tell anyone. It's just that intense. Okay, so I opened up my Bible and I said, okay, this seems pretty familiar. And I'm going to go back to day 1 with the woman with child and the enemy after her. I'm like, I opened up the Bible and I believe this is Revelations 12. I'm like, what in the world? I mean, we have to go the whole process. I know that. And then I said, okay, well, let me go back to day 3 now. Open up my Bible, and I believe it's Revelation 6, where it talks about the horses. So I'm reading, and it talks about the white horse came first, just like in a dream. Okay.
Correct.
Then, as I'm reading, it talks about the red horse right after. I'm like, that's just like the dream. Okay. And then I'm like, oh, what's the next one? I'm thinking it's going to be the pale horse. And no, it was actually the black horse. So in my dream, the black horse was missing. I don't know why. Maybe you can interpret that. I don't know why. And then after that was the pale horse. So for some reason, in that sequence, in my dream, the dream that God had given me, the black horse, I believe that was the horses, or that was the horse that came. And I believe that was the horse that came to bring death. I could be wrong. I'm just going off the top of my head.
She's right.
But maybe this is the start of, I know we've been in chapter Revelation 1 to 3 since the resurrection of Jesus, or since his ascension, but maybe this is the year when things begin to start gradually. I don't know. I'm looking up. Jesus says, keep looking for him. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to look for the Antichrist. I'm going to look for him. But what I would like to really share with you is the 2 things, okay? One, the hope that God had given us for this year. If you're walking in him, or if you're not right now walking in him, I'm telling you, because he is so merciful, he's so lenient, he's so loving, he is willing, ready to accept, a repentant heart, but he is going to restore a lot of things in your life that has been broken. And I literally saw that I've even experienced it within the past 6 days, January 6th, so he's going to piece all that together. He's going to fix things for you this year. And I'm not the type of person who's like, everything's lollipop and gumdrops. I'm not the type of person who, just always says good things that God, is going to do. I go off of what God tells me, what scripture tells me. I just don't just wing stuff like that. So this is the year of restoration. This is what the Lord given me. He didn't give me anything else. And then
I just want to make sure, because this is now we got to set it up for this part, because this is also the main part about how this tied into me with the whole alien things and me praying to the Lord. This is really important. But don't forget, though, the first part, she did say it is the year of restoration. If you don't have a relationship with the Lord, you can start having a relationship with him literally right now. And you can be like, Lord, I'm so sorry. You can repent and you can just start talking to him. Just start talking to him. That's all you need to do. And just imagine him there with you. Okay. So this is the next part. This is the big part.
he gave me was this. So he did give me something else, but he did warn that a lot of things you are going to see this year are not real. They are not real. They will appear real. I didn't even know until someone had to tell me. And then as I began to look, I began to see it fall off. And I know it's not going to be like a, what do you call it? Like a little, pixels like I saw there. But the reason why I'm sharing this with you is because I really wasn't going to tell everyone until I get a phone call from my friend, and she asked me what dream did I have. And mind you, because she knows we've been friends for about 15 years, every single year the Lord has given me prophecy that has happened. The Lord showed me the racism that would rise up beginning in, I think was it 2012 or 2011, and how the Lord showed me that it wouldn't be by the actual citizens of the United States, but by the big G, if you know what I mean. I have to be careful what I say on here. It was political. I knew that. The Lord showed me what happened in India. I made a video about that. The Lord showed me, I think it was last year or the year before, that you need to keep your focus on the Lord. This is the year you keep your focus on the Lord. This was either last year or the year before. I have to go to my notes and find out. But that was the time when a lot of people were duped. A lot of people were duped when it came to the thing that happened with, say, 2020. Okay, let's see. So a lot of things. So the Lord, he shows me things that are going to happen. I don't lie. I don't go around saying things that the Lord didn't say. And this is something precise I didn't ask for. I didn't look for. He showed me the things that were going to happen. So anyway, my friend, she began egging me on to ask me, what was your dream? And then once I told her my dream, she said, the reason why I asked you is because my dream kind of parallels with yours. And I'm like, okay. So the Lord always gives confirmation. It doesn't end there. So then I go downstairs this morning, and then my daughter says to me, did you hear what happened in Miami? And I'm like, what in the world happened in Miami? Okay. And then she tells me about some 7-foot creature with helicopters. This made the news, so you can look it up yourself. And then I don't know what happened after. It was like some alien thing. I don't know. So I said, okay, you know what? This stuff is beginning to pop off right now. This is weird. Like what the Lord revealed to me is starting to happen. And that's not the only thing, because then I go on Twitter and then I see what's called Project Bluebeam. And if you don't know what that is, just look it up. And I'm like, okay, things are starting. Lord, okay, are you giving me the signal to tell people? Because I didn't tell anybody before this morning. So thank you, Lord, for releasing this to me. This is just to you. Remember the two things. The good news is the Lord is going to restore much of what happened, if not everything that has been broken into your life. Part two, do not believe everything you say. We're used to believing, knowing, not believing everything you hear, which I really don't. And you shouldn't either. Always test the spirits, even test and pray what I've been giving you. But on top of that, like I said, do not believe everything you see, because what you see may not be real. This is some weird matrix stuff happening right now. But anyway, God bless you. Happy New Year. God's got you. Walk in the Lord. I'm telling you, if you're walking in the will of the Lord, you will always be protected. It's a dangerous thing to be outside of the will of the Lord. If you're outside of the will of the Lord, here's you, here's the Lord. If you're walking outside the Lord, well, guess what? There's a gap right there. The devil, he can get in there. So you don't want that. You want the Lord on you. So please stay in the will of God. So there's no passageways for the enemy to get in. God will protect you. He loves you very much. He wants the best for you. Again, Happy New Year. As a recap, the Lord will restore the things that have been broken into your life for those who are walking in him. And then 2, do not believe everything that you see.
Whew. How good was that? That was so good. So that answered a lot for me today. That answered a lot for me today because I wasn't really sure where I was going to go. And if you guys have been following me for years, you know that I did videos. I made videos when I was traveling around Southeast Asia. You know that I then did all videos about fasting with snake diet. Then I left for a while and then I came back and I was doing some teachings, and I haven't been on here for a year, almost a year. And so now I've been wanting to make these reaction videos, but also, tying it in with the gospel. And I just want to make sure that I'm following the will of the Lord. And this really spoke to me a lot, to my spirit. I was like, oh my goodness. Like she said this, in her dream, it said the year when things are not really happening. So don't believe everything that you see. So with that, it definitely told me a lot. And so I've decided that the next thing I'm going to do is I actually bought the book, Project Bluebeam. It's coming in the mail. And I'm going to read about it as well, because I've heard a bit about it, but I don't really actually know the whole story of what it is. And I'll share this stuff with you, but I'm also going to share you stuff of things that I find are really interesting. But if there's things that you want to see specifically from me, put it in the comment section below. At the end of the day, I really just want to draw people to Jesus, and so that, that you'll know that he is Lord, and he is real and he is God. and all the stuff that's going to happen, because there's going to be some crazy, crazy things that are going to come in 2024. There's going to be some crazy, crazy things. And, you know, in him, we have no fear. And he tells us not to fear, because you will actually know the truth, right? Because we do live in a very evil world that are run by people that don't want the best for humanity. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this. If you liked it, give it a like, subscribe, write a comment below. Let me know how you're doing. Appreciate you watching this. See you in the next one. Bye.